Yo, what's up, my creative pros? They have a saying that the riches are in the niches. And the graphic design industry is huge. There are so many different types of things that you can do in the graphic design niche, from billboards to print design to web design, all this great stuff. That's all fine and dandy, but what's important is that you find a specialty and find a niche in something that you can become well known in. So today I'm going to talk about the 5 creative niches that you can get into as a creative, whether you're a web designer or graphic designer, or maybe you're both, that you can make massive profits for. Now, something that's really important to note is I'm gonna base these 5 niches on 3 core things. Number 1 is demand. There has to be a demand for what it is that you're selling. If there's no demand, it's gonna be really hard to get it out there. If there's nobody people looking for it, it's gonna make things very challenging. So that's the first thing that I'm using to consider and when I picked these niches. The second thing is it's easy to create. A lot of these different things that I'm gonna talk about are very easy to create. It doesn't take a lot of time, it doesn't take a lot of work, and so you can create a lot of volume and make up for the quality, essentially, the amount of time you have to invest in volume. So this is something that's really important, again, as number 2. And number 3 is, of course, profit. You need to be able to make a good profit when you're doing design work, and making sure that you have a big enough spread on these is really important. So these are the 3 things that I want you to consider when I picked these 5 niches. So let's go ahead and jump into the 5 niches. What are they? Niche number 1 that's really great for creatives is logo design. Now, this is something I've been doing since the very beginning. This is actually where I started. I started doing nightlife flyers and logo design. Nightlife flyers can be a niche, but right now I think that there's not enough profit in it, and it requires a lot of work, and it's just really intensive. So I want to focus on the logo design side of things. I think logo design is a really great niche. If you can develop great systems and processes like I've been teaching here on channels for a long time and walk your clients through, you can make anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 or $25,000 or more on a logo design. I typically charge anywhere between $5,000 and $15,000 for not just a logo, but for a brand design, a rebrand or a new brand. And this is just what I charge. Because I'm charging such a high ticket for these things, I have a lot of profit in that. And there are always new businesses wanting to create new brands, and also existing businesses wanting to give their brands a reface. We are actually going through that phase right now where we're gonna be rebranding this channel, we're gonna be rebranding our company, and we are no longer gonna be Adrian Graphics, but we're gonna be Adrian Agency. So it's time to go back to the drawing board and start to look at what we have for Adrian Agency as a brand right now and where we wanna go with this thing. So we're gonna be revisiting, probably rebranding Adrian Agency along with some of our YouTube stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of changes coming, and a lot of companies dedicate a lot of money to their brand. And so doing logo design is a very good niche, and that's why I made it number 1. The second niche that I want you to think about, and this is something that I would highly consider if I were to go back and start all over again, this is probably one of the first things I would focus on because there's such a huge demand and the profit potential is so huge, and I just love the industry, and that is sales funnels or click funnels. Click funnels is a trendy word, and funnels is a common term now that is used for websites, but essentially what it does is it brings somebody who doesn't know you from an ad, from a podcast, from somewhere online or offline. You take them to this landing page and you walk them through an experience. Just like when you go into a restaurant, there's an experience from meeting the hostess and putting your name in to getting a table right. It's the same thing online. From that first initial greeting to talking about what you do, what are the values and benefits that you offer to your audience, to obviously buying your initial offer that you have, which could be a low ticket offer, a high ticket offer, to buying an upsell or a downsell. There's a lot of components to sales funnels, but there are a lot of steps that happen along a sales funnel that you need to know. And there are a lot of web pages that need to be created for that. It's very easy to do. And a lot of it is very graphics oriented. So sales funnels or click funnels or just funnels in general are a really good niche. You can make a lot of money. If you can actually kind of delegate some of those outer things like the automations and the sales funnel email marketing and have somebody on your team do that for you, and you just focus on the graphic design side, whether it's the ads for the funnels or the pages themselves, this is a really good opportunity. You can charge $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a sales funnel. So this is another niche I wanted you guys to know about, something to consider. The third niche, and this is something I see only growing because of the metaverse and NFTs and crypto and all this stuff that's happening right now, is the gaming industry. I think the gaming industry, we're only seeing the beginning of it. I know we're 20, 30 years into gaming, and there are a lot of people that are actually making really good money now, but everything from the game design to character design to animations for them, the promotions of those things, I think the gaming industry is underserved market and I see a huge demand for it. And because video games make so much money, I see there being a huge profit potential in this for you. This is not something that I've stepped into, but I have people that I've coached and mentored that are in that space. And a lot of these games need brands, they need logos, they need names, they need identities, they need websites, right? They got to promote the stuff. And so if you get into the gaming industry, if you love games and you're a gamer, this is a really great opportunity to take something you're passionate about and do design for that industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You just saw Microsoft bought Activision for billions of dollars. So there's obviously a huge demand and a growing market for this. So this is something that I would highly consider. And if you create a game or you create graphics for a game, you can actually get royalties. So you get an initial commission for doing the work, and then you can get royalties for how many games sell, how many times it's used, all these different things. And then if they have sequels to those games, who do you think they're gonna call first? Especially if you help them become successful with this game, this is really important, something to think about. But I would definitely consider number 3 is gaming. The fourth niche for graphic designers that I think everybody should be looking at, and that's what I'm gonna spend a lot of my time this year doing myself, because I love doing design and I wanna spend more time doing it, especially with what I have going on in my life right now, is stock graphics, stock illustrations, stock graphics, stock photos, stock videos. If you love to create, you love to make things, you can put these on marketplaces like iStock and Shutterstock and Adobe Stock and actually get paid some pretty good money. The beautiful part is every download, you get paid. So you create the artwork one time, you put it on a marketplace, and you get paid over and over and over again. I know a few people that I have in my circle and in my life that have done stock graphics, and they make 6 figures a year just on stock images, stuff that they're just not using. You may have thousands of files or hundreds of files that are just sitting in a drive, whether in storage and cloud drive or an actual hard drive, that's just stock graphics that can be sold and used. People will pay you for this stuff and you don't have to do any new additional work. So this is something that can get you started, something you can put some existing stuff that you've already created, maybe work that your clients that you designed for and they didn't like it. Maybe it's logo concepts, things like that. Think outside the box. What can you take that you've already created for potentially a client that they didn't like or didn't use that you can upload to a marketplace and sell over and over and over again? Maybe it's a website design. Maybe it's a Photoshop file of a web page layout or a funnel layout, something like that. Just something to consider that I think would be super helpful. And again, it's passive. People can be downloading it and you can be paid while you're sleeping. Stuff like that is super important, which that leads me to number 5. The 5th thing that I think is really big because of demand, because of how easy it is to create them, and because of the profit potential in this is NFTs. Now, I personally think that if you're gonna do an NFT campaign, you need to link up with somebody like myself or somebody that's a marketer so that you can put multiple pieces together, because it's not just about the artwork, it's how you promote it. So having a good web page, having a good marketing strategy, these are important elements. You need to develop a white paper. If you're just gonna be a graphic designer and create NFTs and just throw them up on OpenSea and hope that people buy them, that's not a marketing strategy. You need a marketing strategy behind this stuff, but the profit potential is insane. I think it was last December or close to January. Yeah, it was actually in January. I bought my first series of NFTs, which was not on Zedge. I've talked a lot about Zedge, but this was actually on the Magic Eden. So it's on the Solana blockchain. And I bought what's called a Solderland bunny. What I liked about the Solderland bunny when I read the project is it incorporated 2 big things. 1, gaming. 2, play to earn, which is something that's going to be big in the crypto space, where when you're playing these games, you actually earn crypto. So this is something to think about as a holder of this specific NFT. I'm going to get a percentage of the profit for holding this Solderland bunny. This is just an example of a utility of what that NFT is going to be used for. It actually has a practical application. It's not just a piece of artwork because you're famous. It's actually something that's going to be used in the metaverse or in a NFT crypto kind of universe where they're building this Solderland bunnies, and you're gonna have mines and all these fun things that you can do. So you wanna do some due diligence and come up with something creative for why somebody should buy these NFTs. If you're gonna buy your NFT on OpenSea or Magic Eden or one of those marketplaces, why? What kind of benefit can you give them for doing that? The cool thing about the Solderland bunnies, because of the project was so well put together and the team that they had behind it was so good, these NFTs sold out. I think it was 6,666 of them sold out in less than 5 minutes. Can you imagine selling something for about $100 to $200 a piece and selling over 6,000 of them in under 5 minutes? That's the power of crypto and the NFT space right now. The demand is insane. The profit's insane. There are people that are 16, 17, 18 years old that are selling NFTs and making millions of dollars. So that's why I had to include this on this list. This is something you should be considering. You should be sharpening your axe and learning how to create NFTs and how to get them onto marketplaces. And that's hopefully what I'm gonna be creating more content for you on with what we have going on here on this channel. Like I said before, at the beginning of this, the channel is going to change. We're gonna have some new names, so definitely stay tuned for that and be prepared for that. But I just thank you guys for watching this video, and let me know down below what NFTs or what projects or what niches are you in right now that you have found profitable. If there's something that I should be including in a future list, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Adrian Boycell. I'll see you guys on the next one. And as always, keep looking up.